Neil, that was a tremendous performance there. 2 centuries for you. You must be pleased with that start.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, the first rounders. I've made a bad habit of going out and tournaments a little bit too early over the last couple of months. So nice to start off with a really good performance there, and make a couple of big breaks as well, which is always nice.
In terms of going out in those kind of 3 early exits you've had recently, do you feel you've turned a corner now with your form?
Yeah, well, I've been working really hard. The last couple of weeks I haven't worked hard all season, and I guess when you're having a run of bad results, that's all you can do is just practice harder and try to prepare as well as you can. And obviously, the results will eventually turn around. We've got so many tournaments. Every player's going to have a bad spell somewhere along the way, and hopefully I've had mine and I can put it behind me.
Do you think there was any particular reason behind that dip? I know you kind of showed your frustration a couple of times in China, which isn't like you. So was that just kind of just disappointment at not reaching your levels?
No, that was probably more down to being quite a good gamer and having Stone Age internet for a week. Obviously I let myself down a bit there, it was, that's what can happen. Sort of, sometimes you can lose your discipline a bit, and there are other factors as well, which I sort of talked about and possibly will talk about in the future. What goes on in China, like I say, that's behind me now, and all I can do is prepare for the remainder of the season now.
And this is tournaments just before one of the kind of few breaks on the calendar, really. So how important is it this week to finish on a high before Christmas and have a good end on a good note?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Last year, obviously, Christmas for me, doesn't really get much better than that, being UK and Champion Champions. So, this season, I've won the Riga Masters. I'd love to add, another one before the break as well. So I think all the players are going to be quite desperate to finish the calendar year on a high note before we have sort of a few weeks off over Christmas.
And a good way to start the year next year at the Masters. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, really looking forward to that. I'm going to be taking my cue to Norway. I'm going to Norway with Miller and Alexander, as I always do for Christmas every year. But this year I'll be taking my cue there to make sure I'm maintaining the sharpness and hopefully be as prepared as well as anyone else heading into the Masters.
Best of luck, Neil.
All right, cheers, bud.